So my name is Tope Alabi. I'm the founder CEO of a company called Afriex. Afriex is a cross-border remittance company. We allow you to send, spend, save money from all over the world. So whether you live in the UK or whether you live in Kenya or Uganda, you can download Afriex and you can transact with anybody basically in the world as though they're standing next to you. Like Dipo mentioned, we've been lucky to be a fast-growing company and raise some money and things like that. But obviously the journey is far from over. So, you know, in a sense, I'm in the same seat as you all, trying to get to the next level as well. So you asked about my career journey. 10 years ago, or I guess when I really just came out of school, I studied electrical engineering. Electrical engineering is a lot about hardware and physical things.
Yep.
So all through school, I was building vending machines or computer chips and things like that. But when I got out of school, I never really got a chance to do that professionally. I actually almost immediately switched into the software engineering firm, which is about obviously coding websites and coding apps, things like that. Actually, when I first came out of school, I didn't get a job immediately. I was doing a lot of freelancing, you know, just building websites for people that I met online. And then eventually I got my first job at Wix.com. Wix is a drag and drop website builder.
Yep.
So I worked at Wix in New York, and it was a good experience. You know, I made a little bit of money, so you know, I can call my parents, and they felt very happy about it. But I always, even then, had the entrepreneurial bug. I wanted to try a few things. I left Wix, tried a few things, and then I moved to San Francisco. San Francisco, I went to work at a company called IDEO. IDEO is a creative, they're a design firm actually, and they work very closely with Apple. So their claim to fame is that they actually invented the Apple mouse.
Okay.
Steve Jobs gets a lot of credit, but he works very closely with these folks.
Okay.
And so they invented like the shopping cart that you use at the grocery store. So they've done a few things that we use today and take for granted. So I went to work there. I was working mostly on blockchain apps. So IDEO is always thinking about what's next. So I was prototyping a lot of blockchain solutions. How do we send messages on the blockchain? How do we play card games on the blockchain? So it was just a lot of blockchain experience. Had a very small team. It was super fun. I really enjoyed that time. Left that opportunity and I moved on to a company called Consensus. Consensus is sort of like the IBM for blockchain.
Yep.
So they're basically building projects and contracts for big corporates all across the world. If Walmart wants to launch a blockchain project, Consensus is probably the company that's building it. And so being there, I got to see so many different blockchain ideas. I feel like I got to see the next 20 years of blockchain and crypto technology. So obviously that's a big part of my
your career.
Yeah, I guess it's my origin story, even before building Afriex. And so eventually left Consensus in 2019, moved back to Nigeria and started building Afriex, and I guess the rest is history.
Fantastic. Okay. So it's, you know, you've worked in different industries in different roles. What top advice do you have for young people, or what, you know, I'd say the top 5 advice pieces of advice that you have, you know, for young people who are just starting out, you know, folks who are looking to either grow in their career or even set up a business?
That's a great question. I actually prepared 5 pieces of advice, and I'll try to move through them as quickly as I can, not to stall the interview. But the first thing is lifelong learning. All right, this was actually the first advice that I got when I got to university. This was we had like the dean of the school gave a speech, and the first thing he said, learning is a lifelong journey. You don't stop learning at any point. And for me, honestly, that's the only thing that I kept from university. That's the only thing that sort of stuck with me and has worked for me all this time. So just keep learning, keep gathering new skills. The future belongs to the learners. And so the more stuff you know, it just really gives you an edge over whoever's next. The second thing I would say is basically try different things with your careers. All right, I don't want to say take a risk with your career, but try different things with your career. Because, I mean, honestly, I just gave you a short synopsis, but That's the shorter version. That's the short version, right? I've tried so many things. I've worked in I've had over 13 jobs actually, and almost as many different career paths that I tried along the way. Even within my entrepreneurial journey, there was one year where I started 6 different companies in a year, with each of them having like users, and some of them even having revenue, right? And so the major point is that you have to try different things before you find the one. And so you know, your parents probably won't like this advice, but I think it will make for a better career and a better life.
Makes sense.
The other thing that I want to share is basically go big, right? It's easier than ever to make an impact. It's easier than ever to build a big company. With all the information we have, all the resources that we have today, you can look up anything on Google, you can watch any how-to video on YouTube. It's just easier than ever to make impact. So whether you want to start a company, all the VC money and all the between VC and the internet, it's much easier to start a big company. If you want to be famous with social media, it's much easier than ever. And so what I would say is just like reach for the top, you know. As they say, if you reach for the stars, you might land on the moon. And so that's my advice there.
Okay, number 4, I think it is. Yeah.
Number 4 is, we might only have 4. Different things your career. Be the hardest working person in the room. Be the hardest working. No matter what you're doing, just make sure you're the hardest working person. It's gonna earn respect from your teammates. It's gonna earn respect from your competitors. And there's just so many people in life that are super talented, but they never reach their potential because they don't work hard, right? But if you have less talent and you work hard, you almost guaranteed to be in the top 1% of your field. And so for me, that's always been my thing, right? If you know right now people are not recognizing you as a hard worker, then you know that you have something to change about yourself. Everyone should know that about you. Like, this person works hard, right? And then finally, good luck. The last piece of advice is good luck. Because, you know, the truth is there's some things about life that we can't control. You know, whether you want to call it fate or nature or God, you know, there's just some things that we can't control, and we have to understand that, and we have to be humble to that. You know, some people are lucky because of where they're born. Some people are lucky because of how tall they are. Some people are lucky because of who their parents are. You know, and maybe you do or don't have those advantages, right? You just have to play the cards you're dealt. You know, lean towards your strength, and you know, hope for the best.
Thank you very much, Tope. Does anyone have any questions? Do you have any questions? Yeah.
Hello, good morning, thank you. Good morning. My name is Joshua, I'm 20 years old. So I'm building what I call Early. It's a savings platform for parents where they get to save and invest for their kids. So my question is, what do you think is the top 3 things investors are looking for in your company before they're able to give you your performance?
That's an interesting question. The number one thing is traction, right? You need to prove that you can grow a business, right, in order for somebody else to give you their money to grow your business. The second thing, and all of it really is the same thing, basically a track record of success. So traction in the current business that you have, maybe like your own, but before this business, where did you go to school? What have you done before? Have you tried things before? And then finally, they want to see, it sucks to say this, but they want to see a network. They want to know that other people would invest in you, right? And all of it just goes back to them de-risking their investment by knowing that, hey, this person has done something before. Hey, this person is already showing traction in this business. Hey, other people believe in this person. Okay, I'll give them my money.
Thank you.
Cool. I think having a good team, I think helps as well. You know, having a good team, you know, having credibility, making some money, you know, having revenue. I think, you know, that basically works as well. Okay, there was one other person. Okay, yeah, your name and the question.
Sorry, do you have chance to train people to make
How to build a career as an entrepreneur, or just in general?
in general?
Are you asking for mentorship, or are you asking for an internship or a placement? Internship or placement. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to speak with you after this and learn more about what you bring. As far as anyone, I guess entrepreneurship is probably the thing I know the most about. If someone was to ask me how to prepare for a career in entrepreneurship, I would say, I would ask them, have they failed at anything before? Right? If you haven't pushed yourself to the point of failure at something, then you might not be ready for entrepreneurship, because there's gonna be a crisis every 3 months, you know? And so you just need to be the kind of person that can deal with that over 10 years. Can you deal with a crisis every 3 months for 10 years? If so, then you're ready.
Cool. Okay, one more question. Yeah.
And are you concerned about negative market sentiment?
There's a downturn now, isn't it? There's a whole lot of bad news, you know.
There are two sort of things that came to mind when you asked that question. Positive sentiments in the digital space. Maybe you mean a positive conversation. I think, honestly, the best thing to do is just build a great product, right? If you build, that's the number one marketing that you could ever do. Build a great product, build something that people want, build something people need, and do an excellent job at it. Which is why, again, hard work is the number one piece of advice, right? It takes a lot of hard work to build something good, and so just focus on that. And even if, you know, initially people might speak a certain way, over time they will recognize that quality, and the conversation will turn properly. The second part of that is an economic downturn, and yeah, you're right. The whole stock market is red right now. It's not an amazing time. It seems to be possibly a recession. You just have to, again, hopefully you've built a business that doesn't rely on too much outside funding. If you've built a business that can sustain itself, or if you've built your life or career in a way that's sort of self-sustaining, then, you know, you will be able to survive, because life is cyclical, right? You're gonna have some ups and some downs, and that's just the way it is. And so you need to be able to get through the downs in order to enjoy the ups.
Okay, I think we're gonna take one more question. Yeah.
My name is Alabi. Coming from the top advice, you know, being the hardest working person and in this present age of digital and all, what advantage do you have over being the smartest person?
You have a huge advantage over being the smartest person. It's more important to be the hardest working person than the smartest person. I'm not even the smartest person at my company. You know what I mean? I might not be the smartest person even in this room, but the thing is, you know, I won't stop and I won't quit until I have achieved my goal. And that's actually, being smart is a natural talent a lot of times, but hard work will ultimately overcome that. If that smart person is not working as hard, the hard working person will overtake the smart person.
Cool.